complete it, we have to search and swab our piece. The man to the front left takes up his swab, and the gunner grabs his powder. At the same time, the third server left is ordered to place his thumb on top of the touch hole, so the man to the front left can swab. The swab is inserted all the way against the breech, turned around 3 times, and then he'll plunge it on out with the order to
Retirer. Écoute-nous. Maintenons en place.
When he pulls that out, the vacuum seal will extinguish any embers. With that out, our powder charge can safely be brought forward.
Mettez le poudre dans le canon.
And the gunner will use his ladle to load the powder right inside the gun, inserting it all the way in the breech, making sure it is in fact seated. He'll pull that ladle out upon the order to,
Retirez le lanterne et mettez-en en place.
and with that out, we're ready to ram home. First, we have to call the man in the front left to take up his rammer, and the man of the rear will bring forward a wad.
Mettez le bouchon dans le canon.
He brings that wad to the man in the front left. Now, this piece of hay is loaded inside the cannon. The front left man is prepared with his rammer to
Retirez.
ram. With 9 to 10 good thrusts, he packs it firmly against the breech. He'll wait there for the order.
Retirez le. Retirez et mettez-en en place.
He pulls out that rammer, yet he leaves it on the embrasure because he has to ram again. Now, the second server to the right is ordered to bring forward our shot.
Mettez le boulet dans le canon.
Now, after that shot, the second server to the left has to bring forward another wad.
Mettez le bouchon sur le boulet.
That wad's brought forward, placed in the hand of the man in the front left. On top of that cannonball goes our wad. He's prepared with his rammer on the wall to once more,
Retirez.
he packs it against the breech. And with this done, our gun is loaded. It has to be hauled forward into position.
Retirez le retour et mettez-en en place.
We'll all be ordered to,
Au levier.
or take up our lever. Now, when we embed, we do it on the opposite side. So with gravity's effect, it can roll forward.
Retirez. Mon batterie.
Now, once in position, they stay there, because those levers play another important role, not just for moving the gun forward, but for aiming.
Le bouton est ouvert.
They place the levers beneath the cheeks of the gun and under the cast belt to adjust side to side and up and down. On the order,
Pointé.
now to aim, the gunner that's aiming will place himself right in the cheek. To avoid any confusion, using his voice to move the gun up or down. Oh, which is up, or ba, which is down. Oh, ba. He'll use hand signals to move the gun side to side. Once satisfied with the lay of the shot, gun will be ordered
Amorcé.
or prime. Each man lays down his lever and evacuates the platform so as not to be in the way of the recoil. The gunner himself will prime our piece, clearing out the vent and pouring a small priming charge in there to light it off. At the same time, the man with the linstock ensures that his match is still lit, and the man who aims, that's myself, will stand up on our wall so we can view the shot and see where it lands and make any adjustments on the neck. And once the piece is primed and everyone's in position, the man with the linstock will be ordered.
Oh, with boot.
Now bring that forward onto the platform. Notice how he stands outside of the recoil of the wheel. Be ordered.
Oh, le bras.
Bring that as high as can, too.
Boot.
They can imagine this step-by-step procedure was broken down for practice. That practice would be done over and over and over again. It'll create a discipline and a muscle memory that will allow them to go through such a procedure even under fire. Yet this 32-step procedure was not developed for speed. This kind of firing was designed for slow, deliberate, well-calculated fire, which can be continued over long periods of time. In fact, the artillery theorist Saint Remy, who would write in the late 17th century, would say that siege guns like this fire no faster than 5 minutes in between each shot. It allowed the gun the time it needed to cool. It allowed the gunners the time they needed to aim. Yet in that method, they could keep up this fire for 72 hours straight without ceasing at all but that 5 minutes in between each shot. And it's not the burden of one gun to go really fast, but to have lots of guns all under the command of one captain working together, keeping iron and shot going down range. You can imagine this special service was mostly mandated by math and science, flourished with a little bit of art on how to aim their guns, yet it was special trigonometry, which exactly calculated the elevation of their guns so they could reach the distances they need. And this special service of math and science applied through these heavy brute materials of war become the deciding factor on any battlefield around the world. And that included here at Fort Ticonderoga. Now, these gunners were never exposed in their operation. In fact, it was a battery wall that was built to protect them, whether it be the walls of Fort Ticonderoga or even the various earthworks of batteries around. It was at least 6 feet tall worth of earth and 12 feet thick, enough to stop even the heaviest of the enemy's cannons. Now, these men may not even need to hear all their commands to load. If they're in a siege or under fire, they just need to hear the beat of a drum, which will tell them to commence firing, and they can continue to go through this process. You can imagine the summer of 1757, many of these artillerymen had drugged their guns down to Fort William Henry and understood how to attack an enemy's fortifications. Yet by 1758, these artillerymen, veterans of the year before, found themselves under attack. Oh, Bob. Oh, Bob. Bob. Oh, Bob. By July 8th of 1758, a British army under General James Abercrombie was posted just out to the west, a mile and a half, out at the lowest falls of the Chute River, preparing for the attack. And Captain Lemercier, the commandant of all the artillery in Fort Ticonderoga, would have his men and officers working away that entire morning. All the guns inside Fort Ticonderoga would be aimed at all the passes, trying to cut off any possible movement of the British enemy. By 1 o'clock in the afternoon on July 8th, barges were sighted down in Lachute Bay. British cannons, provincial American soldiers were preparing to dig in, bring their guns over to Mount Defiance and cut off the French from behind. It was Lieutenant Louvicourt of the French Royal of Artillery, posted to the southwest bastion, who upon seeing those British barges would immediately order his guns to open up. Boom! And in just a few shots, those barges were either sunk or they would retreat before they were sunk themselves. And after a few shots, the French artillery of Fort Ticonderoga would successfully cut off the possibility of any British support, and this would lead to the British failure. And at the end of 8 hours of fighting, the British main assault on the French lines were never successful. Now, Louis-Antoine de Bougainville, who was the aide-de-camp to the French army, would write how war in North America has changed. It's now practiced on the European basis. It's no longer the matter of making a raid, but of conquering or being conquered. That even in the middle of the wilderness, it was artillery and engineering, with its foundation in math and science, that was the deciding factor. It would help defeat an overwhelming British enemy, and by the defense here at Fort Ticonderoga, would help protect the entire colony of Canada and save it for the remainder of the year. Before I let you guys go, I want to let you know what you could see for the rest of the day immediately following this cannon demonstration starting at 2:30. You have a few options. You can start at the base of the American flagpole with a guard interpreter for a breaking ground tour. Take a guided tour down to our beautiful King's Garden to learn about centuries worth of farming and gardening history. You'll also at 2:30 meet inside the parade ground of the fort with an exhibit interpreter. Take a guided tour through our exhibits to learn about the special artifacts we have on display and the incredible stories that those artifacts tell. If you guys didn't see one of the Key of the Continent tours yet today, there's one more. It starts at 3 o'clock at the base of the American flagpole. And once we clear our gun, we're going to stick around for any questions you guys may have if you want to take pictures. Last but not least, I just want to say thank you for coming out on an absolutely beautiful day. by having all you guys here at Fort Ticonderoga, that ensures that we continue our mission of preservation, education, and creating an active and ongoing discussion about the important role of history. So thank you very much, guys.